Empaths don't fall for emotionally unavailable men by accident. They're drawn to them by something deeper, a pull from the unconscious, rooted in old emotional patterns and unfinished healing. This attraction isn't weakness. It's a familiar story the soul is trying to resolve, a pull between light and shadow, between giving and receiving. In this video, we'll explore why empaths are drawn to emotionally unavailable men, not to judge, but to understand, through the lens of Jungian psychology. Because once you see this unconscious bond for what it is, you stop calling it love and start recognizing it as an invitation to your own healing. These relationships are not random. They're psychological mirrors, revealing the hidden dynamics between self-worth, childhood attachment, and emotional protection. When we begin to decode these bonds, we uncover not just why we choose certain partners, but how every relationship points us back to our own emotional development. The wounded healer and the emotionally starved. In Jungian terms, the empath often represents the wounded healer, someone who found strength through sensitivity. As a child, she learned to read emotions before words were spoken, often because the adults around her couldn't meet her emotionally. So when she meets an emotionally unavailable man, something feels strangely familiar. It's not about him, but about the feeling he evokes, the same emotional distance she once tried to bridge long ago. Her subconscious says, if I can make him open up, maybe I'll finally prove I'm worthy of love that stays. But this dynamic isn't about fixing him. It's about finishing an old emotional story that began in childhood. The illusion of depth. Empaths often mistake emotional potential for emotional depth. The unavailable man seems mysterious. He shares just enough to make her believe there's more beneath the surface. He reveals flashes of vulnerability, just enough to keep her engaged. To her, this looks like hidden pain, something she's meant to heal. But this is where the trap forms. She's not actually seeing him, she's seeing her own reflection, the part of herself that also avoids intimacy by focusing on others. In Jungian language, she's meeting her shadow, her repressed needs, mirrored in the man who withholds. The dance of control disguised as care. Empaths often believe love can heal anything, but beneath that desire to heal is often an unconscious need for control, the urge to manage rejection through caretaking. If she can give enough, she won't be abandoned. But emotional unavailability feeds on this dynamic. The more she gives, the less he has to. He receives without growing. She gives without being met. Her empathy becomes the glue that holds his avoidance in place. His silence mirrors her unhealed longing to be chosen. It feels faded or spiritual, but it's really a repetition of an old psychological pattern. The archetype of the savior and the lost child. In Jungian terms, this connection reflects two archetypes, the savior and the lost child. The empath carries the savior energy. If I love him enough, I can redeem him. The unavailable man is the lost child. If I let you close, I'll lose myself. They find each other and both feel purpose. But what's really happening is projection. She's trying to save the parent who couldn't love her fully. He's avoiding the part of himself that still feels unworthy of love. Together, they reenact the myth of love as healing. But real love can't exist where self-abandonment still lives. The mirror and the awakening. Over time, the empath starts to feel drained. She's poured her light into a void and received little in return. That exhaustion becomes the start of awakening. She begins to see that her need to be needed was a way to avoid vulnerability, the fear of saying, I need you too. The unavailable man becomes a mirror, showing her that her worth has been tied to how much she gives, not how much she receives. That realization, though painful, is liberating. What she thought was love was actually her own abandonment pattern repeating itself. The hidden reason revealed. So why do empaths fall for emotionally unavailable men? It's not because they're weak. It's because they recognize something of themselves. They see their own unhealed pain reflected in him. Their emotional unavailability may just look different, being open to others, but closed to themselves. Her empathy becomes a kind of armor. Her compassion becomes camouflage. He represents the part of her that she's been neglecting, the part still waiting for her own love and attention. The alchemy of withdrawal. When the empath finally walks away, not in anger, but in clarity, transformation begins. She stops trying to fix him and starts healing herself. Her compassion turns inward. Her energy begins to integrate. And ironically, that's often when he starts to feel her absence the most. Because what connected them wasn't just attraction. It was unconscious recognition. When she stops carrying both sides of the relationship, he's left to face his own emptiness, and she is finally free to fill hers with her own light. Individuation through love and loss. In Jungian psychology, this is the process of individuation, becoming whole by integrating all parts of the self. The empath's heartbreak becomes her initiation. She learns that love isn't about fixing others, but about tending to herself. That true empathy starts with acknowledging her own pain, the same pain that made her so attuned to others. Through his absence, she learns presence. Through his silence, she learns to listen to herself. Through his inability to love her, she learns how to love herself. The gift beneath the pain. The purpose of these relationships isn't suffering, it's awakening. Every heartbreak, every disappointment, every moment of feeling unseen teaches her the difference between love and attachment, between helping and healing. She learns that self-sacrifice isn't love. Self-respect is. Her journey isn't to stop feeling deeply, but to feel wisely, to remain open, but no longer lose herself in others. When she integrates her shadow, when she can hold her own emotions without trying to fix someone else's, she stops attracting emotional unavailability and starts attracting emotional maturity. If you've ever wondered, why do I keep attracting people who can't love me back? Know that it's not because you're too sensitive. It's because life is asking you to direct that sensitivity inward. The unavailable man wasn't sent to complete you. He was sent to reveal you, to show the parts of you still waiting to be seen and healed. And once you start giving yourself the love you've always given others, the unavailable ones stop feeling magnetic, because you've already found what you were chasing within.